Copy.
Yeah. Yes. Tether. Okay. Okay. See, so you don't want to go over a blind cliff there. And yeah. Okay. Well, let's keep this for now, and I'll follow the ledge. And if we see something interesting, we can maybe put in a move that brings you toward me and further out over the cliff. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that then.
Can we get a quick zoom on that animal we just passed?
Sure.
So a short one, like 20 meter? 1.5? Okay, 1.5 meters.
Yeah, so that is also
degrees.
new for this dive.
Bridge, nav.
Looks.
Bridge, I'd
Zoom
like
in
to
video.
request a 1.5 meter move.
You can zoom video.
180 degrees. Speed
Got you
0.2
cranked up
knots.
6 dB, but it's a little hard to pick you out for some reason. Huh.
That looks like a
Good copy,
Trudopleura,
Bridge.
possibly.
Zoom in a bit more video.
Coming in. Stopping there. Focus.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, so that looks like
I'm
a
coming out.
dead
Come out, yeah. Yeah.
sponge, and that's in the family
Say again, co-pilot.
Uncineratoridae,
Yeah,
and it's
you got it.
Trudopleura
Coming in.
species.
About there.
Thank you, Bridge.
Roger that, holding there.
And then there's a coral behind it too that I'd like to take a look at.
Okay.
So we're good for the sponge.
I'm sorry, watch lead, where was the coral?
I believe, is it to the right and behind it?
Out there in the distance?
Yes.
Yeah, let's just do a quick zoom and we'll see if it's something we want to move closer to.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So that looks like another Paramaricia, and actually that we're probably happy with that imagery. There's no need to get closer.
Okay. Let's come out, video.
We did image one of these guys earlier in the dive.
Push out ahead. Okay, I'm going to come up, co-pilot.
Still partial and serious.
And move forward, yeah.
Our current depth is 1,096 meters. This dive was on a canyon wall.
Roger.
That's north
Full
of
wide
French Frigate
serious.
Shoals and northwestern Hawaiian Islands.
All cameras full wide.
We have made it all the way to the top of the canyon wall, and we're just going to move along the cliff here. It's probably where we're going to find more animals.
Okay. What was the angle of the last move, or the bearing? I'm sorry. 180. Okay. Okay. Sure.
Is that a pinnacle?
Yeah, that looks spectacular.
Yeah, if we can actually
Wow.
Get
get a chance to maybe look around that feature right there, that's incredibly
Wow.
interesting.
Look at that light.
Yeah, and there you go. Immediately see an accumulation of animals. Yeah, this is something that we see time after time again. Is that on pinnacles they just swarmed with animals. Pinnacles, they are restrictors to flow, and as a result, you have flow around it, currents
Yeah.
accelerated in and around and over it, and then that's perfect habitat for
Thank you, Bridge.
Okay.
organisms
Try.
that filter feed. And then right in front of
Partially.
us is a prinoid coral, and it's
Just
Calyptrophora.
getting a nice full shot here.
Yeah, if you're staying at this depth, we might nudge your camera down just a small amount.
And I believe that's Calyptrophora wyveli. It certainly looks like it.
That's good.
Hold this for a few seconds and I'll lift off and
And so yeah, that's
settle
a
around the
nice
side of it.
aggregation of
Top of that
corals
rock
on
almost
that
looks like a sculpin.
pinnacle.
And it kind of looks like on the view from Sirius, it probably is attached to the canyon wall a little bit further down. It's very curious that it's got this gap as it comes to the top of the canyon wall, but what a beautiful feature it is. Yeah, that's a great view.
There's a fish in there too.
Yeah, fish, crabs,
Keep moving.
Corals.
Keep her shot.
absolutely spectacular feature.
Oh, hey.
So on the top of we see a hormathiid anemone, or Venus flytrap anemone, next to a pink coral, corallium. And then it looks like we have several plexaurid corals. These are all gorgonians.
So I don't want to go too much further, right, Copilot? Okay. Is there anything you want to zoom on while we're here?
There's a coral just it's coming kind of center left. One of the bigger ones has a slightly different color than the other yellow ones.
I think I see what you're talking about. Okay. Can we do a zoom video?
Coming in. Hold on. Are we going for that one?
Yeah.
That there? That's a partial. Bite her up a bit. And there's focus. Nice with that depth of field behind it.
Yeah, so there are portions of this coral that are dead. You can see that where you have exposed
Pilot
skeleton
snap.
on it, and then
So
parts
that
where you
move
do
is
see the
complete.
I have
tissue
more
still
zoom if
remaining.
you want it.
Go ahead.
Coming in.
And there's
Wow.
on the dead portions you see
Oh.
hydroids, so you see
There
these
you go.
wispier branches,
How dramatic.
and those are hydroids that opportunistically take shelter and use these coral skeleton as habitat. We also see some scalpellet or gooseneck
Okay, let's zoom
barnacles
out.
on the.
Making it look like we did that on purpose.
Copy.
Coming out.
Standing
Yeah,
by.
it's come out. Thank you.
It's full
Excellent.
wide.
Okay, move back off a bit. Couldn't. It's too steep to get any kind of secure hold there. Okay, so what's the move we're going to want to do, Copilot? Off to starboard. Yep. Okay. Okay.
We're about a meter lower than when we started that move.
Okay, so you want me to move toward like 240? Okay.
That was a neat feature.
Yeah. We just- Yeah, very dramatic scenery here. Current depth is 1,091 meters.
So about this heading, pilots?
Yeah, I think, but Sirius is looking at now the 235.
Copy.
So the
That's a good
dissolved
direction to head in.
oxygen content here is at 1.65
Looks like
milligrams
the
per
ridge,
liter, so still
the
dropping.
edge of the cliff is right about your heading, though.
Right, I'm not sure if... well, I
And
guess we
this,
could continue
dive
along the
was
cliff
just, yeah,
face.
very
Wasn't sure if we wanted to continue heading upward, though.
reminds me a lot of that dive we had
Let me check with Watch Lead.
on Bank 8 last year up in the northwestern Hawaiian Islands, a little bit further north from here. Well, we also saw a very similar fauna. There's another Iridogorgia.
Watch Lead, Nav.
Go ahead, Nav.
Watch Lead, do we want to continue along the cliff edge, or do we want to start heading back up the local high?
Okay. Yeah. So
Okay.
maybe let's just move along this this cliff a little bit. Not
Okay.
this one in front of us, but I'm sure we'll see something.
There's something straight ahead with a little bit of color, it looks like, on the bottom right.
So
Like 1,
yeah,
2, 3, 4,
we've
5
just been
forward.
informed that the weather is picking up, and we'll have to come up to bottom earlier than anticipated.
Okay.
So we're gonna just pick
I'll look inward and see.
one last animal
Could be
to
a
image
sea
here.
star or something. I don't know what that was.
There's a sea star. Yeah. Okay. Keep an eye on it.
Sea star on a coral.
Okay. I'm going to practice shots without getting grounded, so let's try this.
Do you want me to leave my
Let's go ahead. Go ahead and
iris
zoom in.
set, pilot, so you can visually see when you're going up or down?
Just go ahead and zoom in.
Roger. Coming in. Holding
Oh,
there.
excellent, and that's a beautiful shot here to finish with. And so that's the underside of a
Just holding.
Hold it, yeah.
Iridogorgia with a sea star feeding on it.
It's all good.
I believe
Lasers
that's
are still on.
Caliaster. It's hard to say from this view.
I can give you some more if you're
Go ahead.
comfortable.
Yeah, zoom in.
Coming in and holding. Putting it up a little. Give me a little more contrast. You're right. Feels like your relative distance to target is staying the same. Okay. Oh, there you go. Just hold that.
I'm moving
everything
away
I
from
said-
it again.
Everything I said without the word just.
Yeah.
And Scott is just pointing out that this is the first time he's seen one of these guys on an Iridogorgia.
All right.
If it is what I believe it is, the Caliaster, yeah, we
Yep.
definitely saw those on
I was trying to practice staying in the water column. It's
a
tough.
few bamboos, but not on Iridogorgia.
I know. But when I started coming left, I was
That's
hoping
nice.
to tear right around it, but not today.
So yeah,
Sea
Randy
Star
Singer
Ballet.
just joined us. So welcome, Randy. Thanks for joining us from
Oh, hello.
Florida State. And then we got another companion.
Coming out just a little bit.
And just for you, Randy. He's a fish
Holding.
specialist, and
Stay wide, okay.
Synapobranchid eel.
Want me to come back in a little bit, pilot? Or are you going to chase fish?
Looks like he's gone.
So yeah, we'll with that beautiful scenery, we'll have to push off the bottom here in a little bit. It's
Zoom
we're
in
at current
video.
depth of
Zoom in.
1,088 meters. The weather is
Like there?
building,
Sure.
and that's why we'll have to come up to the bottom.
We'll come out just a little bit. Get some frame to work with.
Hello, Dan.
Is this Chris?
Okay.
It is.
Coming out.
Hey, Chris.
Thank you
video.
so much for capturing beautiful imagery of this animal.
Okay.
Excellent, just for you.
For wide.
Yeah. I knew that you were going to tune in at some point. So was that
So
indeed?
I've been watching. I just haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think this is Caliaster. If we could get a shot of the top surface, I could tell more distinctly because
So what do you need to
Caliaster
do?
and Evoplosoma look very much alike from
Switch
one end. And I see we're just, at least from my video, we're just about
Put it
to
in
sort
autos
of
before you
turn
come.
around to the other side.
So that's it. We're
It's
calling it.
one of those weird parallel feature dynamics because a lot of sea stars, goniasteroids, which feed on these corals, have spines all over them. And I've never quite figured out why it's so distinct in these animals. But it's almost certainly Caliaster. It could easily have been Evoplosoma, but just from what I saw, the edge of the body
So
is a little
pilot,
more
we're starting
angular.
the ascent now.
And Evoplosoma tends to be really
Check in with
fleshy
that.
and
Yep.
round. So
Yeah, we're going to start this
so I
now.
think it's definitely that, but obviously the number of coral predators is relatively few that we know of anyway.
All right. Would you like
And
would you mind
certainly
coming
it's
up?
a new one for me as well,
As I
that it's
back
feeding
towards you
on, you said it was Iridogorgia?
Yes, that's correct.
On bamboo corals. I just thought I'd also bring up another kind of fun thing that
Pilot, do we have time to
you
look off
had
to our left and
mentioned
then wag
that you had
right to
seen
bring the
earlier.
cliff into view?
There was a pentagonal starfish that you saw.
Real quick.
Yeah.
And
Look off left.
That
Yeah, just
turns
to get
out
it out of frame.
I just missed it.
Yeah.
I only
Leave
caught a
your
couple
iris
of
exactly where it
moments
is.
of it,
Okay, you
and
wanna just
fortunately,
make it
social
about
media
Let me
came
just
to the
zoom in a little
rescue.
bit to get
And I
the
was just
vehicle out of
comparing
shot,
it
and then
to
just come around to the right.
other things that I know
Towards the
that
right.
look like that. And I think what we actually saw was this starfish that I named last year called Apollinaster kellyi, which
Might
is
have
actually
drifted
named
away.
for
We'll see
none
how it
other than
goes.
Chris
There you
Kelly.
go. Keep coming.
Excellent. I'm sure I'll be delighted to hear that.
And then
Yeah, we definitely have some.
I just thought it was funny that, you know, that
Nice,
this is
thank you very
probably the
much.
first time we've seen it alive.
Full
Chris
wide.
has always been very
So-
good about catching these animals,
Per the request
catching video of these animals. So
of
it's kind of
the
interesting
last
to
pilot, we're
finally
going to come up with a negative
visualize
turn.
it when
Just
you've seen all the
because
others already. So, but yeah,
they had to
thank you.
switch
A wonderful way to,
fins to
and you said
compass
this is
for
the
a while,
last
and
thing
I
you'll probably get
they
to see.
Yeah, we just we
got
just
it
left the
spun
bottom a
around.
couple minutes ago and on our way up.
That's the current word. If you
Oh,
want
you're already done.
come on up,
Yeah.
I'll just
My
drive
lag
under
is
you
a little
here.
behind then. Well, then thank you, and have a good rest of the successful rest of the trip, and I'll be in touch
Excellent.
when you resume.
Excellent. Thank you so much,
Have
Chris.
a great one. Yeah, it's always a pleasure. Have a good night.
Yeah, so we just left the bottom. Last depth was 1,090 meters. Unfortunately, we had some weather building and we had to come up early. And we'll just stay on the line for everyone that's interested to do our debrief here. Brian just joined us in the room.
Could you come up a little more? Just up. Yeah, just want to make sure that that tether's clear. There it is. Okay.
Hey everybody, it's Brian Kennedy. I'm going to vote we forego the dive planning call today because we're definitely not diving tomorrow, and the odds of diving on Tuesday are very slim to none. So I don't really think we have anything to plan. The weather looks quite bad here, so we're going to move off to the west-southwest to try and find a little bit calmer seas and ride it out.
Yeah,
And
just
depending
taking
on
a
how
look at
bad
fish
it
eye,
gets will govern how much transit time we can make towards the rest of the monument. So we'll be in touch by email over the next couple of days with updates.
Okay, everything looks
But I
good.
think
We got a
Wednesday is the first potential dive day,
rising up.
and if we get blown way out, we may need most of Wednesday to get back to the monument, depending on how bad it gets. There's areas that are going to, the forecast is in the worst parts of the storm that are around here are going to be blowing 50 knots with 30-foot seas. So we need to make sure we're not there. Any questions for anybody else on the telecon before we sign off for the day and go start tying things down?
Okay.
All right. Well, hearing none, we will be in touch by email with the science party.
Gonna come out of auto
Thanks,
heading
everybody.
here, and
Have a good evening.
Mind doing the same.
Thanks, Brian.